Hey you guys, I'm here to bring you my Vikings Season 4 Episode 8 review. The episode was entitled Portage. So, pretty much, as you guys know, there's three different storylines, that pretty much were the main focus. Sure, you had the whole Ragnar situation with the boats, whatever, but I'm going to get more, into what happened in Wessex, Paris, and Kattegat with Aslog and Harbit. But for this video, I'm just going to talk about Paris. So, in regards to Paris, we have Count Odo and Roland in the presence of the Emperor. I think the Emperor is trying on different, his different little wardrobe, whatever. So Count Odo, so the Emperor says to Count Odo, he says to him, forever in your debt, Count Odo. Thank you once again for defending Paris against the Northmen. And yeah, but Count Odo mentions that, listen, it wasn't just me, Emperor. It was the many soldiers of Paris that defended their home. But he also mentions the fact that that he feels though Rollo should be let loose and arrested. And Emperor's like, why should he be arrested? He helped. And Odo makes some good points. He's like, listen, it was clearly a quarrel between two brothers. And now that Rollo has the upper hand, who's to stop him from trying to take your place or raise an army to try to take us out? So the best situation would be to arrest him, and pretty much put all that shit to bed. And then the Emperor's like, well, no, before that, I believe Count Odo says, my Roland has evidence and he agrees with me. And the Emperor's like, okay, speak. And then Roland pretty much says that Pagan's pretty much like a wild boar, if I believe. So yeah, after the Emperor at this point, he's like, well, I have much to think on, but I don't think my daughter would necessarily agree to these terms. You know what I mean? But Count Odo was like, listen, your daughter is still young and she could still, gain to get another civilized marriage, aka me, homeboy. So after that, Emperor's like, okay, let me think on this. So the Emperor is having dinner with Rollo and, and Princess Gisela. And he mentions the fact that he thanked Rollo for his service, saying that now Ragnar, the Northmen are defeated. And Rollo's like, first off, no, they're not. As long as my brother is still breathing, he's still dangerous. I mean, until he's dead, fuck no. He's never defeated. And the Emperor's like, but listen, we defeated them. They left, for as we know. And Rollo's like, listen, man, he just did his little French handkerchief style since he adapted the culture. He's like, it sounds like you don't need me. It's funny how Rollo just read between the lines. And the Emperor's like, got a little shook. He's like, I hope I didn't give you that impression. I did not. I did not intend to. And then you have Princess Gisela saying, Father, I'm pregnant with Rollo's child. Then you have Rollo have a little problem. He's like, yeah. Finally, after banging like at least 1,500 women or more, I finally got one woman pregnant. Seriously, I swear, Rollo should have more kids than he already has. I mean, than just this one. But yeah, so the Emperor's like, how strange life is. And it's interesting. I think the last episode, King Egbert said that. Then again, no, I know it's either the last episode or this episode. Because both kings said the same shit. Because, both, either their children pretty much had children with someone you would not expect. More so in Egbert's case with Aethelwulf and Queen Quinthwith. But anywho, Emperor's happy. He's like, let this be yet another symbol of the Frankish Viking alliance. And then Rollo's like, salute, and they all drink happily. So after this, you have Count Odo meeting with the girl again. And she says, I missed you. Where have you been? I haven't seen you for a while. Count Odo's like, well, I've been fighting the Northmen. Haven't you heard? And she's all like, listen, I think it's about time I beat you, for once. And then Count Odo gets close to her and he just grabs her and shit. He's all like, I agree. And this is interesting. It's just really ironic how this shit ended. So he's all tied up and shit. She got the whip and she's trying her hardest to hit him. He's like, ooh, that's all you got? That tickles. In his little French accent. Then the next thing you know, she's like, okay, I'm going to get something bigger. Next thing you know, Bow! You just heard that shit. He's like, ooh, oh. Turns out, it's Roland. And then he's like, Roland, I considered you like a son. And Roland's like, really? He's like, please, Roland, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Then he puts the thing around his mouth, whatever, and then Roland goes to town on this dude. And for me, I know it was fucked up, and shit, but I was laughing my ass off just by the French, like, ooh, ooh. Oh, God, that shit was hilarious. But the most fucked up thing about it is, like, with the blood just splattering all over the girl's face that she's watching. It's like she's just like, oh. Like, for 2 years, I believe, yeah, I think this takes place 4 years after Ragnar and them siege Paris. 4 years of this shit, finally I get some payback. And Roland, just, if you see the marks on the dude's back, yo, it was cray-cray. Roland beat the shit out of this motherfucker. This mother knucker. So after that, you have Rollo pretty much getting Count title of, with the Iron Hand and shit. And you have Prince Gisla saying, you will not regret this, father. And then pretty much everyone leaves, and then the Emperor tells the girl to stay. And he's like, why do you give me those eyes, huh? She's like, what eyes? He said, those are eyes of pity. Why are you doing that to me? You know what I mean? She's all saying, because I see a man that has to bear a lot of shit alone. And as much as he tries to hide it, everyone can see it. Well, at least I can see it. So that's pretty much all, that's happened in Paris. So thank you for watching part 1 of my Vikings Season 4, Episode 8 review, part 1. And I'll have part 2 in a jiffy. Adios.